Good day, YouTube. This is just a bit of a quick and fun comparison video between Endeavour OS version 22.6 on the left hand side here versus Kali Linux version 22.4, otherwise 2022.4 on the right. So both the latest releases here, both running on the XFCE desktop environment, but a little bit of customization differences there. So the start menu is, well, for both of them, is very highly tuned and very different indeed, even though they are running on XFCE together. You've got all of the categorizations for the apps. In fact, you've got a lot of categorization options there for Kali Linux, just because it's a software, like a penetration testing and security operating system tool, if you will, there. Whereas it's a little bit more stock standard on the left-hand side here for Endeavour OS. You've still got the categorization, but it's a much more simplified and beautiful thing to look at. The main thing is you type in an app and you can actually find it there for either of them. So that's the main thing. Although I do happen to enjoy the dark mode that Kali Linux has tended to employ there for its operating system. If we right click, we will see the same basic things here, the right context menu on the desktop, so nothing to write home about there. We've got the open in terminal here, that sort of thing, so that's fine. Next up, we'll have a look at the file manager. Now this will be the same, but it will look a little bit different perhaps. So if we right click there, we have a look, it's the Thunar file manager. Same can be said for Kali Linux there as well. I do like the really, well actually they're both being customized. It's not the stock standard Thunar file manager window here. You've just got these really nice icon sets for both of them. Yeah, but all in all, Kali Linux does have the beautiful dark mode where you've got a bit of ebony and ivory going on here for Endeavour. But I do enjoy that little shimmering effect that Endeavour has there. That's quite cool. Next up, let's have a little bit of a look at the back end and see what's going on here. So this is where things can sometimes change. Let's see if I can load that up. Here we go, great. So first of all, I'll let you know Endeavour OS runs on Arch Linux, whereas Kali Linux actually runs on Debian Linux. So a bit more of a stable backend for Kali Linux, whereas a bit more of a cutting edge, in fact, yeah, much more of a cutting edge end for Endeavour OS on the back end there. Now, the 5.18 kernel for Endeavour OS, it's really good to see, the latest and greatest, whereas Kali Linux, as to be expected, is the 5.14 kernel, because it is running on that older Debian backend there. Now, I say older, but it just uses a more stable kernel, for instance, there. And last but not least, and take these figures with a bit of a grain of salt, but let's do a bit of a CPU and RAM comparison usage on boot up. So CPUs are always idling out there for both of them. That looks fine there. Now the RAM on boot up for Endeavour is 654 megabytes of RAM, whereas Kali Linux is 662 megabytes of RAM on boot up. So much of a muchness. In fact, you could say they're pretty much exactly the same. Just comes down to which operating system you might prefer in terms of the visuals, really. Sometimes is the case here. But yeah, I personally might prefer Endeavour OS. I think it's really become quite beautified over the years there. But thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and I do hope to see all of you guys there in the next one.